Let's talk about Easy Virtual Choir. EasyVirtualChoir.com is a website where you as a teacher can upload practice tracks or guide tracks or accompaniment tracks, and your students can record themselves singing their parts with those guide tracks. And it takes all of their recorded videos and pieces them together to create a virtual choir. You might be wondering, that seems really useful last year, but why would this be useful going forward when we have in-person concerts again? That's a good question. This can be a pretty valuable tool for things like sectional rehearsals, as an accountability piece, or as something that students can use at home when they're doing their own individual practice. This will make a little more sense after I've explained how it works. First, I'd like to show you something that our students created with Easy Virtual Choir. This has some post-production and some editing with it, but this gives you a general idea of the concept.
You are the answer. You are the gift.
So here's the Easy Virtual Choir website. Just like Flipgrid, you can log in with Google or Microsoft. Go ahead and log in. And once you've logged in, there's a big blue button that says New Song. We're going to create a new song right now. And we'll call it You Are the Song. We're going to make this an unlisted video. I make all my videos unlisted. That way that the general public doesn't see them, just the students. I turn off social features. We don't need likes or comments on. And then there's a checkbox over here that says Hide Peer Tracks. If you want student A to be able to record themselves performing and student B to not be able to see student A's performance, then you should click Hide Peer Tracks. If you want everybody to be able to see each other's performances, uncheck it. I typically like to hide peer track performances, especially as singers are getting more confident and more comfortable with each other. So I would start off by hiding them. If your ensemble gets to the point where they are comfortable and confident enough with each other and trust each other, then maybe you can uncheck that so that everybody can see everybody else's performance. That's your choice. After clicking next, it's going to take us to this page. And from here, we're going to go to Song Studio. This is where we can upload our guide tracks. So we'll start by uploading a video. This will be our accompaniment file. And in fact, it's not actually a video, it's just an MP3 recording of the piano part. Choose the file, upload it. And we don't see anything because it's not a video, it's an MP3 file. But if we push play, we can hear the piano. Okay, now we need to add our actual guide tracks for the soprano 1 and soprano 2 parts. So we'll click Add Track. Actually, before we do that, we're going to go back to Studio. I'm going to click Edit Mode, and I'm going to retitle the accompaniment track to actually say accompaniment track. And we'll click this little checkbox down here. Push save. Okay, now when we go to add track, it'll say accompaniment track over here. And then we're going to retitle this to be S1 guide. All right, now when we start recording, we'll hear the accompaniment track and we'll start adding the soprano 1 guide track. You are the answer. You are the gift. Okay, we're going to add this to the song by clicking the lower left button. Now, sometimes when we record a track, it doesn't line up perfectly. So let's click Edit Mode, go to Realign Tracks. We're going to select the S1 guide. We're going to compare it to the accompaniment track. I like to render the audio waves so we can more easily see what's going on. And let's push play. We'll see how well they line up.
You are the answer.
It's made the soprano 1 guide track a little too early. So we're going to back down on the offset amount. Let's try this instead.
You are the answer. You are the gift.
We'll back off just a hair more, see if this is even better.
You are the answer.
I think that's better. We're going to save that new alignment. We'll click edit mode again. I'm just going to adjust the volume. And we'll save that edit. Now we're going to add another track. Let's add the soprano 2 guide track. This time, I'm going to add soprano 1 guide over here. So now we'll hear the accompaniment and the soprano 1, and then we'll add the soprano 2 all at the same time.
You are the answer. You are the gift.
Okay, let's add that to the song. We may have to do a little bit of adjustment on the timing. We'll go to edit mode, realign tracks. This time we're going to compare soprano 1 and soprano 2 since they're fairly similar timing wise. I can already tell that they're off looking at the waveform. So we'll just turn this offset amount down. We'll do this manually. Okay.
You are the.
Looks like we still need to change that offset amount a little bit. Let's see how this sounds.
You are.
Oh, that's too far. That looks about right.
You are the answer.
There we go. We'll save this new alignment. Go back to edit mode, adjust the volume a little bit, and we'll save those edits. So now we have the soprano 1 and the soprano 2 part. At this point, we could share this with our singers, and they could begin recording their particular part with this. So we'll do this. We'll click on the title of the song, You Are the Song. There's a share button. We can copy this link. And it will take us to this page. It looks almost exactly the same. Singers can click Song Studio. They can click Add Track. And now they can choose which tracks they want to hear when they record. So if they're soprano 1, they might want to add the soprano 1 guide. If they're soprano 2, they can add the soprano 2 guide. We'll pretend that we're soprano 2s and add the soprano 2 guide. We'll retitle this as S2 and the singer's name, and we'll sing with it now.
You are the answer. You are the gift.
Okay, the singer can add it to the song. And you can imagine that lots of singers can do this, and you would see lots of videos begin to pop up. Here's how it sounds with everything so far.
You are the answer.
you can see we need to adjust the timing of that last track. So it can sometimes take a little bit of work adjusting the timing. Sometimes you don't need to do any work on that. It just depends on the song. So here's how this can be really useful for you. Imagine that you're running sectionals and you're working with the soprano ones, and you've sent the soprano twos out in the hall to do their own sectional work. While you're working with the first sopranos, those second sopranos can be rehearsing and preparing to record into virtual choir using one of their devices or a school device. And then once you're done working with soprano ones, you can flip-flop, send them out in the hall, have those other singers come back and have the soprano ones record themselves into easy virtual choir. And then once you're done, everybody comes back into the room. You can quickly align the tracks. You saw it didn't take very long. And then you can play them together for everybody on the bigger screen. You can have some feedback and reflection and discussion about what they were able to accomplish in their sectionals. And students talking about their learning and reflecting on their learning is one of the most powerful tools we have. So it's not just you giving feedback and them executing, it's them having to think for themselves and then execute on their own, and then getting to see it in the context of the entire performance. So easy virtual choir, that's a pretty useful rehearsal tool, especially come sectional time. You can also imagine how this would be helpful for individual practice at home. Not only can singers practice with their own track, if they want to, they can add all of the possible tracks and hear their part in context with everything else. So it's just a more versatile way of doing practice tracks and at-home practice. It gives them a concrete goal to work towards. They're not just singing into empty space. They have some sort of concrete thing they can turn in to show that they did their practice. So I hope that's a helpful tool for you. And Easy Virtual Choir is free, which is one of the things that makes it great.